How to stay calm if you are criticized or boorish. Tips from psychologist Erich Fromm. I'm sure you've been judged and criticized in public. Do you remember your feelings? Do you remember your anger and resentment? Do you remember not being able to come to your senses for days? Why was there such an acute reaction? Remember how you couldn't keep your balance when the ground was literally knocked out from under you and you reacted back. I'm sure you're suffering from not coping with your emotions. Then you're about what you've been told. If the criticism was fair, that's one thing. We understand our mistake and we understand that there are people who have the right to criticize and even judge. But what about when those who criticize and condemn are no one to you, but you have nevertheless been knocked off balance emotionally and knocked out for a long time? In addition to being knocked off balance, you have memories of your emotions and reactions. You also have the feeling that someone has hit the mark, said something about what you've been hiding, then you start defending your thoughts and making arguments. Who gave people the right to comment on your decisions and actions? Why do people intrude where they shouldn't? Why do they do that? You conclude that no one gave the person the right, and he, by virtue of his impotence, rudeness, has made you worry. You calm down. The next time you meet a rude person, everything repeats. If you are constantly criticized, harassed, bullying, a person begins to live in an environment of uncertainty, which can cause neurosis. Consequently, the person seeks stability and pays for it with an unlived life. Knowing this, you can take a meaningful approach to forming the habit of being calm in the extreme situation of being criticized and judged. Note that the very first moment of rudeness, the first reaction is what determines your self-respect. This is the reason why the elite and the aristocrats were brought up to endure any stressful situation. Nurturing non-interference in someone else's life is the sign of a mature person. Everyone lives as they can. Everyone survives as best they can. Everyone has a right to emotion, including against us. There is a nuance to this. We give ourselves the right to be criticized for actions and missteps by leaders, law officials, and our own kind. Even if the criticism is not fair, those people have the right. And pay attention no matter how the circumstances. You will not react harshly against the representatives of the law because you know the consequences. Yes, it is one thing to criticize boorishly, humiliating and devaluing your dignity, and another thing to politely explain the matter. And you will not be boorish in response to the boorishness of representatives of the law. It is fraught with danger. Consequently, in one case you can control your reactions, and in the other case you can't, right? Relatives, management, representatives of the law have the right to criticize and accuse you. The rest of us should not care. The important thing is the first minute, which must be controlled. Then it will be easier. To burst into flames and break down, how do you avoid it? How do you stay calm when you're criticized, scolded, judged? What trick or skill do you need to know to get past other people's opinions and not be influenced by other people's emotions? You have to get used to the idea that you are a free person and no one has the right to interfere in your life except a couple of people you respect and care about. Get it into your head that your peace of mind is your best defense against those who attack you. Calmness in acute moments need to be nurtured within yourself. It is self-discipline of emotions. Endurance is formed through training. Scolding, criticism, and condemnation are tools to fuel emotions, to shut down the critical mind. You are the river, let them shout. I learned a long time ago that everyone has the right to be as happy as they imagine, to live with who they want, to be with who they want, to work the job he wants. In general, no one should care about their personal life. Your life belongs exclusively to you. Your right to dispose of it. Psychologists say a sensible thing. Gossiping about other people's lives is a life lived by those who don't have their own, because your own life involves the freedom to make decisions. If you've decided and someone didn't like it, including the people closest to you, it means only one thing. They want to hold you back. You are at the mercy of others if you behave yourself. When you are criticized and humiliated, it means you are out of the other person's power. Rudeness is an indicator that you are at the mercy of other person. Or rather, not the rudeness itself, but your violent reaction to it. It is usually those who dare not to be free who criticize and condemn, who envy those who dare to be free and implement their decisions. Living your life means living it the way you want to live it, naturally, without breaking the laws. What should you do if someone criticizes or condemns you? Erich Fromm. Let your actions be judged by your actions and true intentions, but know that a free man should explain something only to himself, his mind and consciousness, and to the few who have the right to demand an explanation. If a superior criticizes you for a reason and you understand it, that's fine. The system is correcting the errors of its part. If you're judged or scolded by those close to you, you need to ask yourself and them, why are they doing this? What purpose do they have in mind? The basic question, why? Family is also a system, and it's fighting for stability, trying to prevent the willfulness of its parts. It helps you survive, but it prevents you from living your life as you see fit. Oscar Wilde said a great phrase that has guided me through life. Every man lives as he likes and pays for it himself. If you are criticized, judged, scolded, but you tolerate it, it means that you are not out of childish age, although you may be many years old. Let's summarize. People have every right to criticize and condemn you and your actions, just as you have the right to ignore other people's opinions about yourself and your actions, as long as they do not violate the law. To be calm in a stressful situation means to know that you are right.